Hi, my name is Bruce McIsaac. I'll be talking to you about IBM Engineering Lifecycle Optimization Method Composer, specifically in context process guidance with Method Composer defined work item templates for Engineering Workflow Manager. That's a lot of words, so let me set a bit of context. So we have Method Composer. It's an Eclipse client used to author methods. And normally we publish a process website, which we see at the top right. However, we can also generate work item templates for engineering workflow management. And any work items that you create with engineering workflow management contain links to that process website. So I'm going to be demonstrating that. This is a project area in engineering workflow management created using the Essential Safe 4.6 project template. So I'm going to show you how users of the work item templates that we already created using Method Composer are used. So I click Create from Template, and it's a brand new increment. So I'm going to create all the standard work items for a new program increment using the program increment template. I click Next. I assign it to the program that is the one for which these work items are going to be created, and I assign the increment for which the work items are going to be assigned and planned for. I then click Finish, and it creates for me a fairly large number of work items. And I can take a look at any of these work items to see, well, what kind of guidance is there to go with this. I click on the PI planning event, and what I see is there is a link here that says See Detailed Description. If I click on that link, and I'll open it up in a separate tab, I can see the role that performs it. It's the release train engineer. I can see what other roles are involved. I can see what are the input and output work products, and I can see some additional process guidance. In some cases I could give explicit steps. In this case I'm providing links to the Scaled Agile Framework website that gives me guidance on how to do PI planning, as well as guidance specific to engineering workflow management that tells me how can I do PI planning with this tool in a step-by-step manner. So this shows me very specific guidance on how to use engineering workflow management for a PI planning event. So I just created a whole set of work items for an entire program increment. But I might also create some individual work items. For example, I might create risk work items for specifically identified risks. And I might want to have some process guidance for that. I'll assign this to a particular team, for example. And having created that risk, and presumably added some description to go with it, you'll notice there's some process guidance here under Type Description. If I click on Type Description, it tells me what all the attributes and workflow are for a risk. So it tells me that the risk is going to go through these states, and I can have descriptions to go with those states to explain who does those state changes and so forth. So process guidance can be for how to do a specific task, or it may be the workflow guidance and attribute guidance for a specific type of work item. We can also view the process guidance as a website, which is currently hosted on jazz.net, Safe 4.6 practices. And here we can look at information such as how does the Scaled Agile Framework solution from IBM work, how do I set it up, how do I set up the project areas, how do I set up the templates, what are the work item templates. I can actually browse this pretty much like a book, and I can look at all the information, including what are the work item types for each different purpose, and so forth. What are all the tool specific guidance, what are all the roles. So you can browse this as a website or pretty much like a book. So you might be asking yourself, how do I create all of this stuff? And the answer is using Method Composer. So Method Composer we're looking at right now is usually authored with an Eclipse client, although there is some capability to do web-based authoring using Doors Next. And on the left-hand side we see the library, and we're going to navigate to the Scaled Agile specific content here under Safe. And the work item templates are documented as capability patterns. So I'll go to the program one here and go to the work breakdown structure, and here we can see the work breakdown structure that's been created for the program increment. If I switch to the team process perspective, I can browse the table of contents for the IBM Safe solution, and I can go to the different work item templates here, and we're looking at the essential program increment. At any point here, I can right click and create a JAZ work item template. And I specify I want it to go into the essential Safe 4.6 project area, and for the context root I specify where the website is hosted. In this case I have it at jaz.net Safe 4.6 practices. I'll click next, and because I already have a template called program increment, I'm just going to call this program increment 2. And it says a new work item template has been created. And to confirm that that is in fact the case, I'll go here under work items, create from template, and sure enough we have a new template, program increment 2. If you have additional questions, please visit us on jaz.net or the jaz.net forum, #MEC. Thank you.